Yeah, that's a clip, bro. Back in 2019, Splitgate 1 came out, and it was supposed to be the Halo killer that everyone was talking about. 2 years later, Halo Infinite came out, and everyone was off the hype, especially myself, and so we stuck onto that for a while. 4 years later, it's back and better than ever. Splitgate 2 alpha testing has just officially ended, and we're going to talk about it. It's definitely a slower pace than the first game. The first game was very sweaty, but it seems like with this game, especially Splitgate 2, they slowed it down even more. It's a slower pace with portal traversing still being very prominent, and I think right now, the way it still appeals to even more casual players because it gives you, again, so many options. They added slide mechanics, so now you can slide around the map, you can still thrust around the map with the jetpack, and then you can still sprint around the map. I played it and I didn't really feel like I was stuck just trying to figure out how to do the portals or try to get good with it. I think it's a very casual based playstyle. Now, going along with the playstyle, they give you an option to choose from 3 factions. Each faction has a very specific ability that goes with that specific faction. None of them are really game breaking. They just kind of add to the layer that is the onion of the game. I think of the factions as a light class, a medium class, and a heavy class. The light class has the ability to go a little bit faster around the map. The medium class has an ability to see through walls. Now, you hear that, don't worry, it's not game breaking. It's very minor. It only goes to a certain distance, and I didn't have any problems with it. A heavy class has an ability to throw down a big shield and it blocks incoming damage while you can still put forward damage to the enemy. There's 4 weapons per faction, essentially. There's an AR, there's a carbine, there's a shotgun, and the SMG. Now, on the top of weapons, all the weapons felt pretty good. Besides the shotgun, I didn't really use a whole lot, and I didn't see a lot of people using it. I saw onesie twosies here, but to go along with the maps, I didn't think the shotgun was very viable. So a lot of people were going for the long distance gunfights. All of them felt pretty great. None of them felt like it had a quicker time to kill. None of them felt overpowered, or there was no way to counteract that certain weapon. It was pretty balanced, and I don't really have any complaints about it. Hopefully it stays that way. Now, the alpha build didn't have customizations to skins or anything like that, but it definitely had attachments. They went super simple. No longer the Call of Duty days of you gotta fine-tune the weapon, find the meta build, this attachment is better than this attachment. No, 4 subsections of magazines, grips, barrels, things like that, and they make it so simple. They're straight to the point, easy to read. Put them on, try it out, and play the game. Again, none of them felt overpowered, but they give you the option to play the way you want. Power weapons do spawn on the map now. Of course, it's still the rockets, the sniper, and the BFB, or the big freaking bat, still exist. The rockets felt pretty good with some fine-tuning needed, in my opinion. There was times where, you shoot a rocket, they're point blank, and they don't die, or sometimes you shoot a rocket and it's a little bit behind the enemy, and then they still die, and I don't think they should have. I don't know exactly. I'm not a game developer or anything like that, but I don't think it's there 100%. Again, it's an alpha, so it's not even a huge deal right now. The sniper, dude, the sniper is so much fun to use. I could not get over the sniper. Every time it spawned, I definitely wanted to pick it up every single time. The only thing that I have is that it's super easy to use in hardcore playlist, and I'll get into playlists a little bit later in the video, but it's so easy, and either the damage of the sniper needs to be taken down or health needs to be changed within the playlist, but we'll get into that later. Of course, we only got to play a select few of the maps. It's alpha, but I don't really have a favorite. I don't really have one that I didn't like, but they're all super fun to play on. Again, each one has the ability to slide, portal, or just sprint through the entire map. They all are pretty different. I enjoyed playing them, but I just don't really have complaints about it. Now, of course, the bigger maps I didn't really get to play because it was a part of a playlist, and there were plenty of playlists to try. Now, with Team Deathmatch, the twist is it's best of 3, but there's 6 rounds total that you could play. The first team to get to 20 kills wins that round, and it's a best of 3. If you end up going back and forth, then you go to round 6, the first team to 20 kills takes that round. The domination is still pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing really new there. The ball recovery mode, it essentially, you got to capture 3 balls, you win the round, it's still the best of 3. I don't know if these plan on changing in the future when the full game comes out, but this time time, if you get to that 6th round and both teams are going back and forth, it turns out to S&D. Earlier I mentioned hardcore mode, and that might be my favorite game mode on the entire testing playlist. The reason it's my favorite is I think it's going to be its competitive game mode. The health is cut down by half, but it doesn't feel like the time to kill is super fast still. It's still pretty good. It's still pretty fun. Felt balanced. The only thing again is that the sniper's super easy to use. No matter what, the sniper is one-shot kill, versus in the regular playlist at most it was 2 shots, and the hardcore playlist is 1 shot no matter what, whether it's a headshot or body shot. I think maybe it just needs the damage to go down, or maybe the bullet magnetism taken down, or the aim assist taken down. I'm not really sure. I don't develop games, but it's super easy to use hardcore. And you just play all the same modes again. I don't think anything really changed with the modes between hardcore and the regular playlist, but I very much enjoyed that mode. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is probably going to be the UI. One thing I think I noticed was that there's no pre-game lobbies and not really any post-game lobbies. Like, you could still pull up the scoreboard, but there's no pre-game lobbies or post-game lobbies like the first one kind of had. The first one, you were able to see everybody's character and all that, but this time around you can't really do that. But again, it's an alpha, so it's probably going to be here when the full game comes out. One thing I do like about the UI is it's very easy to read, it's very vibrant. It was simple to go through. It wasn't complicated. It wasn't a scroll through. It was one big menu, and then you got to just find your settings super easily. Not like Call of Duty is doing nowadays. But those have been my main talking points. Splitgate 2 so far, and the alpha testing has been super fun. I really can't wait for the game to come out. It's supposed to come out before November. There's lots of talks that there's going to be plenty of maps, plenty of weapons, and all that. What we just played is not even half of the game, so I'm super excited that we'll see where it goes. Hopefully this time around it can be the true Halo killer, because I don't foresee anything coming out in the future that's going to be really a competition for this game. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video. If you want to see content that I do this on the regular, subscribe to the channel. If you agree with some of the things that I was talking about, or if you have your own opinions, let me know in the comment section below. But that's all I got. Make sure you're eating plenty of food, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of rest, and I'm just going to catch you guys in the next video. I don't believe that you could actually open these doors by hand. But we're gonna... Sir! Son of a bitch!